All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to show you how to fix cannot connect to the EC2 instance. So right now, when you look at this architecture that I have here, I have my VPC to be 192.168.0.0/16, and I have my subnet, which is subnet 1A, to be 192.168.6.0/24, and then the IP address for my EC2 instance is 192.168.6.237. So here you can see that this user is trying to SSH into the EC2 instance, but the person get hit with a red flag even when the person tried to connect to the EC2 instance through via HTTP. The person still get a red flag. The person is not able to get access to the EC2 instance. So let's go to the console and then let me show you. So as you can see here, this is my EC2 instance, and then it's called the demo. So here, if I try to connect to the EC2 instance, and I remember a friend of mine called me and then was also saying the same thing. So when I try to connect to the EC2 instance, this is what I get: fail to connect to your instance. And I know that a lot of people have been experiencing the same issue. So now I remember somebody tried to allow SSH in configure the security groups to allow SSH, but it did not work. So as you can see here, when I open my security groups and I come to the inbound rules, you can see that now I'm allowing SSH on port 22 from anywhere, but it's still, when I try to connect it, it's still it won't work. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. And even the other thing is that when I try to also access the EC2 instance using this public IP address, it doesn't give me the chance. So I'm trying to connect to the EC2 instance. I have some user data on it, so that I just wanted to show you something. But you see that it keeps on whining, it's not able to connect. Even if I know that somebody will be like, okay, maybe I have not allowed HTTP on port 80. So I can come here to security group, and then I'll go ahead and then open the security group and edit the inbound rules. So if you don't understand, the inbound rule simply means that anything that is coming into the network. So that is the inbound. The outbound simply means anything that is moving out from the network, but anything that is coming into the network. So here, if I come and then I allow HTTP on port 80 from anywhere, which simply means that if anybody wants to connect to my EC2 instance using HTTP port 80 from anywhere, the person should be allowed to get access to it, right? So basically that is what the security group rule means. But now if I come here and I even refresh it, right, it doesn't work. So when I think like, okay, let's go ahead here. You can see that here it says that HTTPS. If I take the S from there and then try to connect it, let's see if I can still connect it and get access to it. So now you can see that I have allowed HTTP on port 80 from anywhere, but it's still not connecting. I'm still not able to get access to the EC2 instance. So now how do we solve this problem? So you can see that the red line is still there. We are not being able to solve the problem, and I cannot also connect to the EC2 from the HTTP. So what we're going to do first, let's go back to our architecture. So what we're going to do is that, first of all, we need to set up a router. So let me just explain something to you. You see the normal network architecture. You have your computer. Your computer has to be connected to a switch. From the switch, it connected to a router, and from the router, it connected to a modem, and then to the internet. So basically, if somebody wants to connect, if somebody want to speak to your computer, the person has to speak through the modem, through the internet, get straight up to your router. Your router will route the packet straight up to your computer. So that is the normal network architecture. So that's exactly the same thing that is happening here. So I'm not able to hit this. So what I need to do is that I need to, first of all, I need to place a router here and also attach an internet gateway to the VPC, so that if I'm trying to hit the EC2 instance, I'll go through the gateway, through the router, and then hit the EC2 instance. So that's what I'm going to do. So when you come down here, that's exactly the same thing that I've done here. Now I have the router here, and I have my internet gateway attached to the VPC. So that's what we're going to do. So now if we do this, and then I decide to connect using the SSH, I should be able to connect to it. So now let's go back to the console, and then go back to our VPC. So this is our VPC, and you can see the CIDR here. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create a route table. But this route table, let me go ahead and then delete this. Okay, so we already have a route table here. There are two route tables. This one is different. This one, the second one is also different. This one is something that I created earlier, but I'm going to use this route table. Let me just rename this and make it main 2. So we have our route table. The next thing that we're going to do is to create an internet gateway. So we create an internet gateway, which I've already created. Okay, this one is detached. So let me see if I refresh it, if it should be able to delete. Yes. So we don't have, let me go ahead and delete this internet gateway, and then create a new one. All right, because this is an old internet gateway that I created. I should have deleted it. Okay. All right, so we can go ahead and then create a new internet gateway and name it IGW demo, and then create this. Okay. All right, so now I have created the internet gateway. The next thing that I'm going to do is that I need to hit or click on this, and then attach the internet gateway to the VPC. So when you look at here, the internet gateway is attached to the VPC, right? So I need to come back to the internet gateway and then attach to VPC. I need to select my VPC and then attach the internet gateway. So now that is the second thing. So now the next thing that we're going to do is that we need to route, right? So when you come to the architecture here, so we need to route the traffic, the traffic to the internet gateway, so that we will be able to hit the EC2 instance. So when you come here, we need to go back to our router tables, and then come to this router here. So the router table basically be like a router, right? So we come to route, and you can see that it only has our network, our internet network, which is the 192.168.0.0/16, which simply means that any device on this network is able to communicate locally. So we need to add another route that should go outside. So I'm going to add any IP address here that I want to hit it has to go through the internet gateway. So we have to come here and then select the internet gateway that we created, and then we click on Save Changes. All right, so now you can see that we have two destinations here. We have two targets. One is the local, one is the internet gateway. Perfect. So now when you come back to VPC, our internet gateway, yes, our internet gateway is attached. So we have to go back to our EC2 instance and then hit it again. So here, let's go to instance running and then hit on connect. The next thing that we're going to do is hit on connect and let's see what happens. All right, so now we have been able to connect to the EC2 instance. So right now, if I decide to, let's say, ping google.com, I should get response. Perfect. So now everything is working fine. So let's go ahead and then check via HTTP and see if we can get it. So now we can go ahead and then refresh this page. Perfect. This is working. This is working fine. So you see that now it says that hello world. So actually it's part of the user data that I created. So if I disable the, let me go back to the instance and then go back to the security groups here. If I come here to the security group and then I delete the HTTP, if I come and then refresh this, it should work. All right, it's not even refreshing. All right, hold on, let me go ahead and then EC2 instance. Okay, so that is the simplest way of doing this. Go to details and open link. Let me go ahead and close this. All right. So keeps on whining. So there are two things that we just did. So now you can see that it keeps on whining and whining. When I come here to the EC2 instance and then go back to the security group, did I delete it? Let me go back to the security group again, edit inbound rules. All right, so now you can see that even the HTTP is still here, but this is not responding. So what we can do is to check. So normally you have to do this first thing is to check whether it's written from the HTTPS. You can go ahead and then delete it, and then it should, yes, you should be able to hit the EC2 instance. So this is the simplest way of solving the issue cannot connect to the EC2 instance. All right, if you like this video, kindly go ahead and then subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.